All right, so today's topic is development and denial of digital disorders.
Well, we know that I was on the TV show this last year, Digital Addiction, which highlighted people with digital disorders, which included gaming, gambling, porn, shopping, and social media. And the show did not do well in ratings. And when I spoke to the producer, they believe it's because America is not ready to take ownership and the real problem in this. Because we're all like, well, we're all always on our phone.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, so there's too much that they're against the show that's advertising for social media and technology and what you're supposed to do. And the current generation, a lot of people struggling with that don't understand that there's no alternative messaging. I think the show was brilliant, and it should go on in spite of the ratings to hope that that message comes along.
I last year took 6 months off social media because of being on the show and working with these women, and then now I'm almost to a month again and how I have my kids on regimens and plans and really pay attention and be mindful and intentional about how I get lost or what it's bringing up for me or what it's doing in my family system. And I don't think that many people are willing to look at that.
It just feels so normal to be on your phone or on your computer or transition from phone to computer to TV. We always have some type of device on, and like maybe I should put my tinfoil hat on for this one because it's like conspiracy theories time. But I think this isn't happening by accident. And you mentioned some of the marketing, like this is all intentional. These massive social media companies and device companies are specifically hiring psychologists and mental health professionals and people who can understand the mind so that they know how to cater these games, these devices, social media to trigger dopamine spikes, serotonin spikes. They are creating addictions intentionally.
Yeah.
Right. So then, of course, it's becoming worse, and it's becoming worse for everybody. At the same time, culturally, when was the last time you've been to a restaurant and didn't see an iPad in a kid's hands? It's just become normal for us to seek that instant gratification, to stop. If you have a feeling, to grab your phone. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I get anxious and my first thought is to grab my phone and just start mindlessly scrolling just to feel better, because we're conditioned to do that now by our society.
And we're multitasking and not being present. How many times you're watching TV and you're on your phone at the same time going through social media and you're trying to do something else? You're not fully present for anything or your family that's there and what's really going on around you.
So based upon this discussion, I will challenge everyone to a social media detox at this table and that's watching this. You can start with 24 hours and see what it brings up. I can tell you the things it's brought to clarity for me is amazing.
I mean, I know going on my yearly camping trip, when you're detached from all the social media and all the BS and the phones, I do know how great you feel, and you do feel like you're detoxing. Like there is a bit of like a shock to the system.
Well, when has it become so important that you could post something and you're looking at how many viewers and how many likes are there of complete strangers, and that's how you're getting your self-worth?
I'm just thinking of how many asses there are on Instagram. Like if you don't put a picture of yourself in a thong, you're actually unique. You're seeing people, putting up the best version. So if you're feeling bad about yourself and you want to feel worse, go look at all the fakeness on there.
Exactly. You don't know they took 50 pictures and then they airbrushed everything out of that. It's intended to keep you looking and mesmerized for hours because they've figured out exactly how your brain is working, unfortunately.
Yep, keep you hooked.
And now they're directing you just a little bit more towards whatever side is there, unfortunately, at the same time. And
I used to have an Instagram where I followed all kinds of fitness competitors and all these things that actually spiraled like body dysmorphia for myself. And so now I have a new Instagram and I only follow spiritual things, positive things. You can choose what you see. Yeah. So even if you want to stay on and you don't want to come off, you can change what you see. You do have some control over that. You can change who you follow, who you're connected with. So you do have some agency and some choice in what you see and what you participate in as well.
I also want to make one last point, because we talked about in a bunch of discussions that a shame-based approach doesn't work. My iPhone shames me every single week by telling me my screen time, makes me feel terrible about myself, and that screen time never goes down. It usually increases. The shaming of me every week has not changed anything about my behaviors. It just makes me feel bad in that moment and make me make this declaration that I'm gonna slow down my phone usage, and then that goes away and I feel like a failure the next day because I can't get off my phone.
Yeah, I think that people are, if they're not willing to look at it right now, they're going to have to soon. They're going to see the damage it's doing in relationships, having a partner that's always on their phone and not paying attention to you, or losing your child that loved to play outside but now doesn't want to do any of that, they just want to play games. So I think that if we don't make a decision consciously now, that we're going to be forced to.